In 1,000 dark bedrooms across the world, the same voice hums through headphones. Soft, slow, perfectly modulated. Let's take a deep breath together. The voice belongs to Serenity Vale, a wellness influencer whose followers call her the light. To them, she is healer, guide, savior. To everyone else, she's an algorithmic whisper, just another voice online. But one autumn evening, when 27-year-old Kayla Monroe is found dead in her apartment, still wearing her earbuds, police discover that Serenity's voice may not have just soothed her followers. It may have controlled them. When detectives hit play on Kayla's final recording, the words are slow and deliberate. You're safe when you surrender. You belong when you let go. And somewhere between the inhale and the silence that followed, something inside Kayla stopped. Detective Maria Gutierrez arrives at the scene just after dawn. The first thing she notices is the quiet, the kind of stillness that feels practiced. Lavender candles still burn at the edges of the room. A salt lamp hums on the dresser. The air smells like burnt sage and wax. Kayla's phone is still unlocked. One open tab, a membership portal labeled "The Garden, Private Access." Underneath the logo, a tagline: "Heal through surrender." Maria scrolls through the audio history. The last episode played in full. No music, no ads. Just Serenity's voice layered with faint harmonic pulses. It's oddly soothing and terrifyingly empty. When Maria opens Kayla's notebook, she finds pages of handwriting that shift halfway through. Neat at first, then erratic. The sentences repeat. Follow the light. The light protects. The light knows best. The handwriting is not the same across the last 3 pages. Kayla's mother later says she hadn't heard from her daughter in weeks. Every time I called, she'd say, "I'm not supposed to talk during my detox." But this detox wasn't about the body. It was obedience dressed as healing. Serenity Vale began her rise during the lockdown years. She wasn't just selling workouts or affirmations. She sold calm. While the world screamed, she whispered. Her early videos were simple. Guided breathing, emotional rewiring, spiritual minimalism. Within months, she'd gathered hundreds of thousands of followers. Then came the garden, a private, invite-only community of awakening. The entry fee, $49 a month. The rules: no outside spiritual guidance, no questioning the light. Higher tiers offered direct audio healing. Voice notes sent privately, tailored to each follower's frequency. The tone was part therapy, part worship. Serenity spoke slowly, never blinking, each sentence beginning with a controlled inhale, every syllable wrapped in warmth. Her followers described her voice as liquid trust. The community grew rapidly. They stopped saying I and started saying we. And in every recording, Serenity reminded them, the world outside wants to keep you broken. Only here, only with us, can you bloom. 2 weeks after Kayla's death, Maria digs into payment records tied to the garden. The financial trail is staggering. Millions in monthly subscriptions routed through shell companies. But what disturbs her more is the metadata. Serenity sends hundreds of private audio messages each week, all containing the same structural pattern. 3 descending tonal frequencies layered under her speech. Experts later identify the frequencies as theta inductions, used in hypnosis. One former member agrees to talk. Evan Dorsey, 31, a software engineer, sits trembling across the interview table. He says Serenity helped him quit drinking. Then she began assigning him tasks: isolation days, fasting periods, detachment from interference. She said we were too plugged into chaos, he explains. So we unplugged from friends, family, everything. Evan leans forward. When someone questioned her, She told us they were infected with dark frequencies. She made us delete them, even parents. Maria listens in silence, a small recorder blinking between them. For the first time, she hears something familiar in his voice. Rhythm, cadence, echo, the same measured tone Serenity uses in her recordings. It's as if he's still under her spell. Maria sends the recordings for forensic analysis. The results are chilling. Subtle sub-audio patterns designed to trigger trance states, identical to military psychological conditioning protocols. Serenity didn't just influence her followers. She engineered dependency. Investigators connect Kayla's death to two others, a mother in Florida and a college student in Oregon. All subscribed to Serenity's highest membership tier. Each received farewell messages, thanking them for surrendering to ascension. Each made one final payment before dying. When the story leaks to the press, Serenity releases a video titled, "The Dark Will Always Fear the Light." She smiles softly, eyes glistening. "They don't understand us," she says. "They never do. When you grow too bright, the world tries to dim you." Her followers flood the comments with hearts and affirmations. To them, she isn't guilty, she's being persecuted. Maria watches the video late that night. For the first time, she feels it, the pull of Serenity's voice. A warmth that seeps past skepticism. She shuts her laptop, shaken. The raid comes quietly at sunrise. Agents breach Serenity's desert mansion outside Sedona. Inside, the air is thick with incense and pre-recorded mantras looping on speakers. In the basement, they find soundproof recording rooms, velvet-lined walls, and hard drives labeled Healing Levels 1 to 10. Each file contains voice programs, precise scripts of hypnotic induction phrased as guided trust sessions. When officers escort Serenity upstairs, she's calm, almost radiant. She doesn't resist. "This is all misunderstanding," she murmurs. "I only ever helped." Outside, dozens of followers gather in white clothing, singing her mantras, live streaming the arrest. One holds a sign, "Free the light." Maria watches from her SUV as Serenity is led away, the crowd still chanting her words in unison. Like one body, one breath. The trial draws massive attention. Prosecutors present hours of Serenity's recordings. Even in a courtroom full of noise, her voice still hushes the air. "When you let go of resistance," she says on tape, "you become whole." A forensic linguist testifies. Serenity's phrasing uses hypnotic loop structures, the same psychological mechanisms used in interrogation and cult programming. But the defense argues she was providing therapy, not coercion. Every listener consented. Every payment was voluntary. Serenity sits motionless through testimony, hands folded, faint smile unbroken. When the verdict is read, guilty of involuntary manslaughter, she nods slowly as if she had predicted it. 2 years. Time served. As she leaves the courthouse, a crowd of white-clad supporters cheer and chant her name. For them, this is resurrection, not punishment. Months later, Maria is back at her desk, closing out old files. Then her phone buzzes. A notification from a podcast app. The Return of the Light. Episode 1. Rebirth. She stares at the thumbnail. The name has changed, the voice hasn't. Serenity smiles softly in the cover art, haloed in golden light. Maria presses play for only a second. "Welcome back, my loves. Let's breathe together again." She deletes the app, turns off her phone, and sits in silence. Outside, the city hums with digital noise. A million voices competing to be believed. But somewhere, someone is already listening to Serenity again, breathing in time with her words. Because online, nothing truly dies. just rebrands.